Alright, what you see here is a new fan that I got here in the Dominican Republic. This is a Westinghouse industrial ceiling fan that I got off of Facebook Marketplace for a pretty inexpensive price. And since it was complete and I've been wanting one for the longest time, I figured this would be the best one to grab. This was actually on Marketplace while I was down here back in April going into May, but I didn't get it. And when I was coming down here, I figured I'd check Marketplace before arriving just to plan ahead to see if there was anything on it I'd get. And nothing out of the ordinary, just a bunch of KDKs and stuff, some overpriced, some in really bad shape. But this was still on there, and I figured, since it wasn't really expensive, I figured I'd get it this time, because since I got those brown KDKs the last time, that ended up being the reason why I didn't get this last trip. I figured I'd get it now. So yeah, you can see it's definitely yellowed a bit. I mean, it's not a surprise, to be honest. That is very normal for fans down here to do. Blades are a bit rusted, but the fan was actually pretty close to the beach, where the salt water, well, not a beach, but like where the ocean is, so that definitely plays a factor into it rusting up more. I mean, it's not new, obviously, so that's the other reason, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get one of these, because I know that the newer ones that they sell, they're like in a matte white finish now, I think, or disc gloss white, and they don't have the black line around the motor anymore. But also it's because I think if I get one that's a little bit older like this, I can compare it to if I ever get a newer one at some point. But yeah, and these are pretty big childhood fans for me too, so that's the other reason why I got it. If it wasn't a childhood fan, I wanted to buying it. So yeah, and it's actually here in the Dominican Republic, I remember seeing these first as a kid. There was a paper catalog of sorts, like a newspaper type one, like a little ad from like a hardware store. And they had this, the Westinghouse Vintage, the Westinghouse Turbo Swirl. The Vintage was in the anti-grass finish in that catalog. The Turbo Swirl, I think, was in the brushed steel finish of sorts. They had the Westinghouse Casanova Supreme, the 42-inch one in anti-grass with the schoolhouse white. And they had this, and there was a sixth fan, but I can't remember what it was. It might have been the Westinghouse Swirl, the Euro Swirl they have down here, or something else, but those are the ones I remember. And actually, it could have been the Comet as well. I'm not too sure, but I remember seeing this there, and I was like, oh, it's another fan that's similar to the KDK. And this is like back when I was 6 years old at the time, back in 2002, 2003. And I figured that these looked very similar to a lot of fans that I saw down here that were just generic industrial blades with fans like this. Like the CMC one that I filmed quite a few years ago, which isn't there no more, but like just as an example. And since this one's a bit worn out looking and it looks just like one of those, that's the other reason why I figured I'd get it, because I do like that it has that worn out look. Because there's a lot of fans I saw here as a kid that looked like these, or they weren't them, and they had rusted blades. So the fact that this one looks just like one of those is why I got it too. It has a control. The blades I'm not going to repaint, I'm going to leave them alone because, like I said before, it reminds me of the ones I saw as a kid, and those ones were like knockoffs of these, I guess is the best way to put it. It's the mounting bracket, the logo on the canopy. Top of the motor. The fan is from October of 2010, so it's 13 years. It's gonna be 13 years old at the end of this year. But they've been selling these going back into the 90s era, back when they were still sold as Encon before Westinghouse bought out Encon, which is why you see them carrying over so many of their models. But yeah, there's just so many fans I saw that were similar to this as a kid. I definitely want to find more of these. The ones these brushed nickel one I can find anywhere up in the United States, so it's not an issue. I do want to find the one that has the switch housing that they sold down here, and the copper finished one. That one I really do like. It's the same exact type as the one at the airport and such. They used to be more common back when I started the channel, but since then they have discontinued the copper one, unfortunately. And I know these aren't the greatest fans, but they're childhood for me, and they hold a special place in my heart and such, just for how childhood they are. And this one was literally like not even $40, like $30, which is cheap for an industrial down here. And that's like, that's very rare to find one that's complete for that price. So, but yeah, I mean the fans, it works. I tested it, it runs well, and it's mostly for childhood reasons and the fact that it looks like an actual childhood fan that I thought these looked like as a kid. So I figured for that reason it's more worth getting it, because I could always find another one of these up there in the States, but it wouldn't have this worn out look like the typical cheaper looking industrials would have that I'd see down here as a kid. And that's honestly the main reason why I got this, and the fact that it was a childhood one too. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.